Good afternoon, everyone. We've had a pretty packed and I would say productive day here in Stockholm, and I really want to thank our hosts for doing such a wonderful job putting together this meeting of the OSCE, particularly my friend and colleague Ann Linde, the Foreign Minister of Sweden, and the chairperson of the OSCE. I'm here in Stockholm for this ministerial, but I'd have to be remiss if I didn't highlight as well the very strong partnership that joins the United States to Sweden, promoting democracy, reinforcing transatlantic security, combating the climate crisis, and these and so many other areas. We are very pleased to have Sweden as a close partner. And we're also very admiring of the leadership that Sweden has shown with the OSCE in the chair this past year. I'm looking forward to actually having an opportunity to meet the new Prime Minister a little later today and offering her congratulations on behalf of the United States for what is truly a historic victory. I know the good work that our countries will do together will continue under her leadership, as well as my own partnership with the Foreign Minister. The OSCE is an invaluable institution, in no small part because it has a comprehensive view of security. It's not just reflected in military might, but also good governance, democracy, human rights. And I think that approach accords with the reality of the world that we live in. Countries that respect human rights and govern with the consent of their people tend to be more stable, more prosperous, more peaceful, and they make better neighbors. Countries that violate human rights and flout democratic values often sow instability in other countries, and rulers who abuse their power give license to other leaders to do the same. We're not truly secure unless we come together to respect both the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all countries and the human rights and fundamental freedoms of all people. And that captures the insight that's at the heart of the OSCE's work for nearly 50 years. It's particularly relevant now, when all of us are called to step up our commitment to democracy and human rights at home and around the world. Next week, President Biden is going to host the Summit for Democracy to bring governments and civil society from around the world together to make concrete pledges to renew and reform democracies. It's no secret that there's democratic backsliding happening around the world, including here in Europe. But the genius and resilience of democracy is that it is self-correcting. More than any other form of government, democracies have the capacity to face mistakes, learn from them, and do better. And that's the spirit of the summit the President will be convening next week. It's also the spirit of the OSCE. I'm grateful to have had the chance to affirm the OSCE's vital role in safeguarding democracy in Europe and beyond, and urge all member countries to be constructive participants in the OSCE rather than obstructing it from contributing to peace and security in Europe. Here in Stockholm, I also had the chance to meet with Foreign Minister Kuleba from Ukraine and Foreign Minister Lavrov from Russia. As I said yesterday in Riga, as well as in my meetings today, the United States and our allies and partners are deeply concerned by evidence that Russia has made plans for significant aggressive moves against Ukraine, including efforts to destabilize Ukraine from within and large-scale military operations. We've seen this playbook before, in 2014, when Russia last invaded Ukraine. Despite uncertainty about intentions and timing, we must and we will prepare for all contingencies while working to see to it that Russia reverses course. As I conveyed again to Foreign Minister Kuleba today, the United States remains unwavering in our support for Ukraine's territorial integrity, its sovereignty, its independence. We discussed Ukraine's commitment to implementing the Minsk agreements, which we believe represent the best avenue for a diplomatic resolution to this crisis, potential crisis. We also affirmed that despite a massive Russian disinformation campaign, Ukraine is in no way posing a threat to Russia or seeking a confrontation that would justify a Russian military intervention. The only threat is that of renewed Russian aggression toward Ukraine. In my meeting with Foreign Minister Lavrov, I made very clear our deep concerns and our resolve to hold Russia responsible for its actions, including our commitment to work with European allies to impose severe costs and consequences on Russia if it takes further aggressive action against Ukraine. And as with Foreign Minister Kuleba, I also made clear the United States is prepared to work with both parties to support a diplomatic resolution through implementation of the Minsk agreements in any way that we can. That diplomatic way forward can avert a crisis that would serve no one's interests. Foreign Minister Lavrov and I had candid exchanges on our different perspectives. We agreed to report those back to our presidents, who may have the opportunity to speak directly in the near future. It's now on Russia to de-escalate the current tensions by reversing the recent troop buildup, returning forces to normal peacetime positions, and refraining from further intimidation and attempts to destabilize Ukraine. We're watching this situation very closely. We're in close contact and coordination with our allies. Let me close with a reminder that when the members of the OSCE signed its founding document, the Helsinki Final Act, and that was 46 years ago, they pledged to uphold principles that made it possible for the countries of Europe to live side by side in peace. Stability, prosperity, they're inseparably linked with respect for sovereignty, territorial integrity, and human rights. And the United States will continue to stand for those values here and everywhere. And with that, I'm happy to take some questions. Thank you.